What's up, y'all? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, and I got a spicy build on Blue Eyes that has yet to be attempted by a man in Yu-Gi-Oh! Until today. So, we're breaking Yu-Gi-Oh! History yet again by building a deck that has not been built before. This is Blue Eyes Lord of the Red. I like the Chaos Max build. You guys already saw my take on it and my thoughts for it. What I like more than having a monster to sit on is the ability to play on my opponent's turn. So I felt that Lord of the Red would be a much spicier tech than Chaos Max. Granted, you can try out both, but it'd be bricky. I just like Lord of the Red. I really do. I think he's a great card. I think he has great synergy with the deck being a level 8 and being a dragon. And once he's properly ritual summoned, the return of the Dragon Lords can bring him back. So it's really cool. I mean, that's an edge he has over Chaos Max, whereas Chaos Max can only be summoned by his ritual. So he's a really nice card. And like I said, the ability to play on your opponent's turn, that alone was enough to basically inspire me to try this out. No, there has not been a Blue Eyes Lord of the Red build before this one. So this is something that you guys can go off if you decide to net deck me and try this out for yourself, because I think it's pretty awesome. Without further ado, let's hop into the deck profile. So for the monster lineup, we play 2 Lord of the Red, 3 Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon, 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon, and 1 Dragon Spirit of the White. That is it for the big monsters. We play 3 copies of Sage, 3 copies of Handy Manny, and all of the stones. In addition to that, we play 2 Galaxy Soldier. Now to explain the monster lineup. 2 Galaxy Soldiers makes a lot of sense to me because I like having access to Infinity. Because this deck makes Infinity so easy, and also it helps you to unbreak your hands, it makes a lot of sense. Sometimes you have cards that you need engraved anyways, and Galaxy Soldier helps you put those cards engraved by making Infinity. I only play 2 because when you resolve 1, you search the other one, and playing 3, the third always becomes a brick. Then you have the chance of like bricking, which is not very good because Blue Eyes, let alone the deck, can brick by itself without any help from other cards. Then you play the eggs because they all make sense. They're the best targets in the deck, honestly, and they're your shrine targets, they're your sage targets, they're your cards of consonance food. They're just really good. They're some of the best discard outlets for Galaxy Soldier, obviously. They make a lot of sense. The eggs are great. You play the 3 Manju, Handy Manny, just because you're playing a ritual deck and searching out the combo pieces is important. Sage is one of the best normal summons of the deck. I only play 1 Dragon Spirit of White because 2 is bricky in a ritual build. 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon because it's his deck. He owns the deck. He's the king. So why not? And why not play 3 alternative versions of him that summons himself for free and allows you to extend your plays to make Synchro level 9s or rank 8s. Lord of the Red, who is actually the second king of the deck. He's insane. He's a level 8. You could tribute off any of your dragons to summon him and make a really consistent ritual. He has a very powerful effect. It acts as basically a Dryden on steroids. Very similar to Vindred Slayer with the effects of Hound Horde and also the effect of Revenants. Instead of banishing, though, he just destroys. He can destroy a monster and a back row in the same turn. So he clears 2 cards by itself. Like I said, I'd rather be reactive and be able to play on my opponent's turn than just sit on a Chaos Max and try to OTK. I'm not knocking Chaos Max. He's a great card, but there's a lot of ways to play around him with, like, you know, cards like the Time Pendulum Graph with the Trick Stars. There's cards that can just, like, get over him without even targeting or destroying, and then he can still be attacked over. True Draco Apocalypse can still have his attack. There's just like a lot of ways to play around him. There's Utopia the Lightning, just a lot of stuff, you know. And I like Lord of the Red because granted you can take him down, he will always bring multiple cards down with him, whereas Chaos Max can't really do that. I'm not saying that Chaos Max is bad, I'm just saying that I like this card more than I like Chaos Max. I think Lord of the Red, he's insane and he deserves to be played in this deck. Blue Eyes Lord of the Red. It's really cool. For the spells, we play 3 pre-prep. Yes, Lord of the Red's ritual does specifically list his name. Yes, you can pre-prep for him. The fact that I can play pre-prep in this deck makes it a lot more 3 stacks, you could say, because I really love this spell. I think it's insane. And having a +1 in the deck really does help, especially to just basically make a 1-card Lord of the Red. You play 3 Melodies. Melody's really strong in this deck for so many different reasons. When you play Chaos Max, you can search Chaos Max off of it. We play 3 trade-ins. We play 2 cards of Continents for the draw power. We play 2 Dragon Shrine to basically special summon all you want and load your grave for your soul charge plays, etc, etc. 3 returns, 2 Silver Scry, and 1 soul charge for your revival cards. Then you play 2 copies of Red Ice Transmigration. This ritual spell is pretty insane. Not because of its effect, it just ritual summons Lord of the Red, but because it's a pre-prep ritual spell. It specifically says Lord of the Red in its card text, which makes it more broken because you could pre-prep with it. You play this. This is obviously standard. You have to play 3 returns. Silver Scribe's a card you can mess around with like 2 or 3. Soul Charge, you kind of have to play it in Blue Eyes because you just load your grade so fast. I couldn't find room for 3 Dragon Shrine. I'm a big advocate for this. I don't care what anybody says about breaking. I'm a huge advocate for Dragon Shrine. It's a lot better than what people basically credit it out to be. 2 cards because you don't want to break on 3, but I want to resolve the card enough and see it enough. So you play 2 because it makes sense. The 3 trade-in is obvious. You play so many level 8s and it helps to fix your hands. The 3 Melody and the 3 pre-preps just really help you a lot. So kind of have to play those. That sums up the main deck. I really like how it makes plays. Like, just Lord of the Red with Infinity alone is a very, very powerful field. I think you guys should try it out because it's really spicy. It's teched out. It's gorgeous. I was going to play Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, but I couldn't really take a card out for him. But he would have been another spicy tech. The extra deck is Twin Burst, 2 Spirits, and 2 Azure Eyes. I like 2 and 2. I don't like 2 and 1, and I don't like 3 and none, or just vice versa, 3 and 1. I just like 2 of each. I find myself sometimes hard synchroing with Alternative and also Sage to just make this. Because when your dragons can't be targeted or destroyed, it's the equivalent of turning all your monsters into baby Chaos Maxes. That also works on Lord of the Red, so it makes it a lot more powerful when you have Lord of the Red on the field and your opponent's trying to chain something like Masterpiece and you're like, you know, or like just for example, forget Masterpiece. Let's just say you're playing a deck where you know that they're going to try to destroy him by card effect. Because he can pretty much protect itself. You can make your Blue Eyes Spirit or your Azure Eyes. Either way, Azure Eyes is going to come out. He's a dragon, so now he cannot be targeted or destroyed. And he can still destroy your stuff, which is really nice. It's just an added-in bonus having him. Chaos Max already can't be targeted or destroyed. We know this, but Lord of the Red can. So it's always nice to make Azure Eyes and protect him so that he can just keep destroying your cards. Which is really nice. Because he says, actually, when a card or effect is activated except his own. So what's really cool is when you activate Blue Eyes Spirit to tag out, you're actually triggering your Lord of the Red's effect without you making your opponent do so for you. Because sometimes if you have them with no effect to activate, your opponent is the one who's going to trigger Lord of the Red, which means you're subject to them. They have to play a card effect for you to activate it, which is still cool that, you know, everybody's playing it. But the fact that you can trigger it yourself allows it to be more versatile and abusive. So Spirit's a nice way to do so. Or even Infinity, if your opponent plays a card effect, you negate with Infinity. Infinity is the last card effect that happens, so you can use Lord of the Red. But like I said, tag out with Blue Eyes Spirit, effect pop, summon this, can be destroyed. And because this effect activates after Blue Eyes Spirit, you can trigger a second effect. So what I'm saying is, this board right here, effect to tag out, pop a monster or a spell or trap. Effect when he's special, pop a monster or spell or trap, whichever one you didn't pop. So just by having Spirit alone, you activate both of his effects and then end by having him protected. So I think it's a really neat combo. It's something I thought of myself. It's really cool. And then the Michael, and I have a 13 card extra deck because I have to have an Ancient Fairy and also a Crystal Wing in this extra deck, which I don't have. Rank 8's the Galaxy package, Felgrand, Pole Parvenger, and the Cyber Dragon Infinity. No links. Linking wastes a lot of your resources that you really don't need to, because there's no reason to summon heavy from your extra deck unless you soul charge. And when you soul charge, you really are summoning extra deck monsters from the graveyard, which go to the main monster zone anyways. For example, some of these, right? And they go to the main monster zone. So it doesn't really make sense for this build, but I like it. Give your honest opinion and feedback on what you think of the deck. I love it personally. It's really fun. I'm enjoying it. It's really, really spicy. I just love this guy so much. I really had to try him out in Blue Eyes. He made a lot more sense in Blue Eyes than he did in Red Eyes. Funny, because he just has a lot more he has a lot more synergy in this deck just with the Spirit alone, like I explained. Next up, we have an update on one of my favorite decks of all time, which is Princesses. Stay tuned for that. God bless y'all. Stay innovative. Be safe. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. I'm out.